ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. Let's welcome on stage Raindolf Owusu. Mr. Raindolf. For once, I thought I looked dead bad. It looks like you want to beat me to it. I'm a fashionista, you know.
Come again?
I'm a fashionista.
Oh, okay. For me, I like it more African, but I realized today is more of like corporate, so I have to wear something executive. So, yeah.
He wants to tell me I'm not an African. I do African words too. All right, so that's your speaker, the very first speaker for today, Raindolf Owusu. Thank you very much for the arts.
So at one point when I was inside, I was asking whose profile were they reading, but I think the MC did a good job, so let's give him a round of applause. Okay, so we are in the Technology Summit, and I'm a software developer, so I'm sure many of you are wondering why I'm talking about health with technology. So I'm going to break that down. So I'm Raindolf Owusu. I'm a software developer, and I started my company 5 years ago. And our aim is the first aim is to actually sustain the business by building software solutions to solve problems around us, and also build enterprise software solutions for our clients. So we started a company called Oasis. Reason we call the company Oasis is a greenfield in the desert. When I started out my company, there wasn't so much happening in IT in Africa, so I believe the next oasis of technology is going to be in Africa. So that's why I named my company Oasis, and Websoft, because we build website solutions and software solutions. And I run another company called It's a Health Application. It's more of a subsidiary of Oasis Websoft. So I think, let me give you a bit more background about technology. So technology has evolved over the years, and just like mobile devices, it has evolved over the years. How many of you have used any of the phones here? Not the last one, any of the first, I think, 5? I'm sure many of us use this as our first phones. So mobile phones started very big, and over time, they became more small and more powerful. And the reason why I'm going to talk about mobile phones is it has become a big game changer in technology. At first, when you look at maybe the 40s, right, IBM used to build very huge devices just to print things, but now you have mobile phones that you can chip it into a computer and you print out things. And that's how mobile phones have evolved. Okay. So this, I'm not going to bore you with statistics, I'm not really a fan of it, but this is a mobile penetration rate in Africa. And at one point, it was said mobile phones are even more than people in certain countries. For Ghana, for instance, our president once said, babies who are not yet born have mobile devices, meaning most of us here are using 2 or more mobile devices. And it's very interesting because mobile phones are very cheap, they are very much affordable. And I think it took Nigeria about 50 years to get 300,000 dial phones, fixed phones in their homes. And it took Nigeria another 20 years for them to get 500,000 TV sets in their home. But guess what? It took Nigeria just 3 months to have 500,000 phones, GSM phones activated in the country. So it tells you that with the right price points of the device, the right direction in terms of leadership, and the right technology, the things are going to change as fast as we want them. So that's a bit about mobile. And I guess we are all familiar with applications. We all have apps on our phones. Apps are used for different things. People use apps to communicate with people, entertainment. People will go on apps and download and watch videos. But there's something interesting. People rarely go to the hospital. When they have problems, they'd rather go on Google and ask Google, I'm having this headache for 2 weeks. What is wrong with me? And Google is going to bring up so many different things that are not relevant to you. So over the time, we've seen a lot of innovation in healthcare. I'm going to break down that. So this is a device in the US. People use this, it's usually called a wearable technology. So any technology that you wear, it's a wearable technology. And this is used for heart rate monitoring. So when you're running in the morning, you can have this device and you know the rate at which your heart is beating. So this gives you an evaluation of your heart beating. And this is a very popular device in the United States. And let me give you some more popular apps abroad. So we have WebMD. WebMD is like a big portal. You go on there, you find information on HIV, AIDS, diabetes, all kinds of illnesses. They even connect you to doctors. We have apps like Pregnancy Checker. This is a very interesting app. The first time I heard of it, I was wondering if you were going to pee on the phone to know if you're pregnant or not, but apparently it doesn't work that way. You can take a screenshot of your pee, you send it, and the app is going to diagnose based on the lining and the colors of your pee to let you know if you're pregnant or not. So these are very advanced stuff that is going on abroad. And there's My Sugar. It's quite similar to an application my company did a few years ago, but I'm going to delve into that a bit later. And we've all been saying made in Ghana, made in Africa. It's actually here to stay. Africans are actually thinking outside the box and building their own solutions to solve our own problems. So health applications in Africa like Pedigree, what it does is you go to a pharmacy, you buy a medicine, you take out your mobile phone, you send, there's a code behind the medicine, you send it to a pharmacy and you get to know if the medicine is fake or not. Because counterfeit medicines have actually killed a lot of people in Africa. And Pedigree and Sproxel, they actually were the same. They were the same company until they had a bit of misunderstanding and they split. So Sproxel is looking at more of advanced countries and Pedigree, but they are both founded by Ghanaians. So, and we have BESA Health application. That is an application my company built. So what's innovation? There are different ways of thinking of innovation. Innovation is just a new idea, a new concept, a way of doing something pretty much that people have not thought of. And sometimes it can be simple, sometimes you can replicate or use somebody else's idea, but you can innovate in a way that is going to work in your environment. So why do we have to innovate in healthcare? First of all, healthcare is very important. And there's a saying that your health is your wealth. So you have to know healthcare is very, very important. So if we innovate in healthcare field, we'll not sit in a crowd for CDC to tell us Ebola is on the rise. These are the areas travelers need to stay off from. So healthcare is very important. So we built an application in 2014. It's BESA Health application. The reason we chose BESA is BESA means ask. And we're looking at the Ghanaian market. So we started this application with one doctor. He's currently in Johns Hopkins. He's a good friend of mine. I spoke to Dr. Mensing after I had a few health challenges and getting information was very difficult. And Dr. William Mensing told me that there's not so much happening in IT and innovation in the healthcare space. And I'm like, are doctors hoping to use an app that I'm going to build? He said, let's just try it with me first. So what I did is, I realized first young people, so there are key problems here. I'm going to name some of them. Young people rarely go to hospitals when they have STD-related illnesses because we are Ghanaians. We are very conservative and we are very shy of talking about some of these things. So we'd rather stay home when we are having these kinds of problems. So I'm like, let's build an application that will give people healthcare in their homes on just a small mobile devices. And as I mentioned earlier, mobile phones are very powerful. So why not bring technology to mobile phones? So what BESA does is it connects you to doctors. We have about 30 volunteer doctors who are on the back end. You ask them any health-related questions, and they are going to ask you. And why is BESA innovative? Anybody can do this. But the fact that we're able to work with specialized doctors, we are not just working with general physicians. We work with dermatologists, we work with dietitians. So any question you send on our platform, it goes directly to the expert that has a relation to your problem. So in the near future, we are looking at when there's an outbreak, BESA will be a place where you can get qualified health information. And as well, we get the doctors to write. People don't read so much, so we talk to our doctors and they write health content for you to know more about different illnesses. And this is ringworm. So someone had ringworm. They took a picture of it and sent it to the BESA platform. So These are examples of different illnesses that BISA is giving health information about. And how does BISA health application work? It's free of charge. We believe if it's free and accessible, everybody is going to use it. So most of the doctors are volunteering on the platform. That's why we have many of them. So when they are free, they get on the platform and we talk to them. It's available on your smartphone. How many of us here use BISA? Okay, so maybe after this conversation, you have to download BISA health application. And you don't need a smartphone. If you have YAM, you can also use BISA. We recently partnered with Facebook for us to bring BISA to not so smartphones. So if you have a YAM, you can as well use BISA. So it's quick to use, it's easy to find, and you can also use it if you don't want the doctors to know who you are. So you can decide not to give us your right name, but your problem, you can just lay it down. If you are scared, maybe you know the doctors and you don't want them to know it's you, you don't have to give us your phone number or any information. And the most powerful thing here is, I know you've heard a lot of buzz around big data. The world is driven by data. Of course, it's true. There are policy makers that need data to help them make the right decisions. And a tool like BISA is getting different location information. So if after, let's say, 10 months, a certain kind of symptoms are coming from a neighborhood in Ghana, our doctors are going to know and notify the Ghana Health Service that this is a trend of problems people are sending from Polybamboy in the northern region or upper north region or something. So this is how big data is going to help make the right decisions. So we have a very big team. I am the president of the company. The picture down there is not so clear, but that's our team of doctors, health professionals, and software developers. And it's free to use, so if you have a smartphone. And the reason I am using BISA as a case study is, prior to BISA, everybody goes online to ask for health information. But now you don't have to go online to ask for health information. We are giving you the portal for you to talk to the right doctors who are Ghanaians. They know your health problem better. So which other areas in healthcare do we need innovation in? So this is an article CTFM posted, I think, February this year, where I mentioned that we need cloud system that will house our data. Data is very important. I have a chronic illness that anytime I go to the hospital, they either misdiagnose me because maybe the folder, I didn't bring the folder, I lost the folder, because there's no continuity in the information. And let me break it down a bit. When you have a problem, it has to be stored somewhere. So even if you have a different doctor, in the US or in America or in Europe, we call them primary doctors. So you see the same doctor most of the time. But in Ghana, you go to the polyclinic, the next time you go, there's a different doctor there who is doing, they usually call it local. And after a week, he's gone to another hospital. So they don't understand your illness. And these folders cannot be trusted. Kolibu gives you your folder to take home. What if your house gets burnt? It means when you go back, the next doctor will not know if your illness is progressing. So I'm still in talks trying to get the government, so we try and automate some of these things. There are so many ways you can identify different people. Your phone number can be used to identify you. So the next time you go to the hospital, you mention your phone number, they put it in a system and it pulls up your health information year by year. So this is an example of how we can innovate again and curb illnesses with technology. And these are more different areas we can innovate in the healthcare field. I've done my bit with BISA, and I was happy when during the hackathon I had different people building a solution in healthcare. Healthcare is very, very important, and with the right information, people will live a much more healthy life. And what does the future hold for BISA? What does the future hold for technology? It's ours to create. We still have many more years in the world. You have to think outside the box. Don't be so comfortable in your job, or people have lived the same life many times. So in my own way philosophy, I believe you do something different. You make the world a bit better than what you came to meet it. So thank you very much, and I'm Raindolf Owusu.